From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 23rd, 2020. Israel's 23rd Knesset officially dissolved at midnight last night with new elections in the country called once again. As we've been reporting to you, the deadline to pass the state budget was last night, Tuesday. The failure to meet that deadline prompted the collapse of the government and will send Israelis to the polls in just a few months, the fourth time in less than 2 years. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's Likud and Defense Minister and alternate Prime Minister Benny Gantz's Blue and White Party blamed each other for the impasse and ultimate government collapse. The date for new elections in Israel was set for March the 23rd of 2021, but that could change. Israel, meanwhile, is weighing a third lockdown in the face of rising coronavirus cases in the country, which could begin this Sunday. The health ministry in Israel also said they found 4 cases of the new British strain of the virus in Israel. On the positive side, vaccinations were already given to some 30,000 people in Israel in the first 2 days of the country's vaccine campaign, which hopes to ultimately vaccinate 60,000 people each day, with a total of 2 million by the end of January. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations Kelly Craft is in Israel. Craft, together with Israel's ambassador to the UN Gilad Erdan, was welcomed by Israel's President Rivlin at his residence in Jerusalem today for a working meeting. Rivlin thanked Craft for supporting Israel at the UN, tweeting, "Our friendship is rooted in the values of democracy and freedom." Craft responded that the U.S. values the long history and unbreakable friendship between our countries. "We will do all we can to support a more peaceful, prosperous future and encourage more countries to normalize relations with Israel." Jewish organizations welcomed the passage in Congress of the massive spending bill Monday night that includes, as we reported to you, funding to secure nonprofits, which includes Jewish institutions. The American Jewish Committee noted that the bill doubles funding for the Nonprofit Security Grant Program, tweeting, "We're grateful, but look forward to a day when Jewish institutions don't need additional security to stay safe from attacks." The Jewish Federations of North America welcomed the legislation, tweeting, "It will help secure thousands of synagogues, Jewish community agencies and groups, as well as other faith and communal groups who have too often been the victims of deadly attacks." The Anti-Defamation League thanked congressional leaders for acting in the spirit of bipartisanship to mark significant progress on a number of issues that the ADL and its supporters have worked to advance, including the security grants, as well as funding for Holocaust education programs and grants to better prevent hate crimes. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, December the 23rd at 7 o'clock. It's a discussion on the influences of the Pharisees on Jesus, Christianity, and anti-Semitism today. At 8, Robert Siegel explores the challenges facing Washington in 2021 with Al Franken, Nina Totenberg, and Norman Ornstein. At 9, Mark Golub hosts part 1 of our end-of-year discussion on some of the issues that most greatly impacted the Jewish community this year, including the COVID-19 pandemic and the Abraham Accords, with Stephen Boehm, Eric Yaffe, Betty Ehrenberg, and Jonathan Tobin. At 10:30, the documentary The Last Resort is in the spotlight on Jewish Cinematheque. And coming up next, Micah Halpern looks at the Arab motivation for normalization deals with Israel and predicts President-elect Joe Biden's stance on settlement. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, December the 23rd, 2020. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.